Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Cleaning and Cocktails. Today I have a special guest all the way from Australia. We played phone tag a little bit, and it took a little bit of a scheduling to make this work. But I've been wanting to have her on the show for quite a while. Her name is Lisa Macqueen from Cleancorp out of Australia. But before we jump into that, Lisa, I'm sure you know a little bit about the show, but what I do and what we do for the industry is we bring on subject matter experts, cleaning company owners, suppliers, manufacturers, technology, and just people that are empowering the cleaning space. And I've been following you for a while. I think, as a matter of fact, I want to say we connected probably over 6-7 years ago. I don't know if you remember, but we did talk on the phone one time. This is years ago. But ever since then, I've had your name down as somebody I just follow and I respect, and I know what you do for the industry, what you've done for your family. So without further ado, I'm going to let you jump into your story though and tell a little bit about yourself. But Lisa, thank you for jumping on the show, and I'm excited to get to know you even further and let the audience get to know you as well.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for the lovely welcome. The telephone tag thing is always a challenge when you live in Australia. Let me just put it out there. It's always a challenge. So don't even worry about that. And I have equally been following you and watching you and seeing you and your business go from strength to strength. And I really want to applaud you for what you're doing for the industry, because way back when you and I did connect about, it was about 6 years ago, time flies. I don't know if you remember, but there wasn't a lot in this space in terms of resources for our industry. Anyone who worked in the service industry, and particularly in residential or commercial cleaning, they were almost like the Lone Ranger. They didn't have anyone who could show them the way, or they didn't have anyone that they could look up to who they could say, look, I could, if she did it or if he did it, I figure I could do it too. And with a little tiny bit of mentoring and helping, others could also get there. So I think you have really embraced the space in such a powerful way that I know there's cleaning industry, cleaning business owners right around the world who are very, very grateful for what, the information that you're bringing, the thought leadership that you're bringing to our industry. It's wonderful. It's really, really wonderful. And so I'm super proud to be on the podcast today. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, hey, Lisa, I want people to get to know you. Again, it's, I took it upon myself back then too. Like, you're absolutely right. When I came across you those years back, there wasn't many people to look up or like that are putting themselves out there and talking about business and how to help the industry. Because I want to say you were involved with a CRM or marketing, and like you were a heavy marketer, if I remember that correctly. And I know I did some research on you too. Again, I think you took it upon yourself at that time. So that's why I wanted to bring you on, is you were doing this back then yourself. But like you said, Lone Ranger status, right? Like there's only like a small clique of people that were like advocating like this for the industry. So again, this is going to be all about you. I'm excited for people to get to know you. Let's start off. Obviously, the name is in the back, right? Cleancorp. I want to say this is a family business, or was a family business, or your husband is involved, correct? Am I right? Okay.
Very much a family business.
You're like, yes, across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. My husband, Hamish, started the business 27 and a half years ago. So we've been at this for a while. And look, he started this business, and some, you may have heard my story. I'll give you a really quick version of how we landed in the cleaning industry. So I worked in international hotels in sales and marketing. That was my niche. That's where that's what I loved, the travel industry. And so I did that for years and years and years. And Hamish worked as in construction as a builder with his own business. The problem with that was that he would only really get paid when his clients felt like paying him. The unreliability of payments in the industry. And
And
I was,
construction too. Yeah, construction's
yeah,
not easy. So
it's just so unreliable and so hard to bring up a family when you don't know when your next check is going to hit your account. And in my case, for my role, I would get paid at the end of each month. So once a month at the end of each month. So we get to the day after Christmas, and Hamish, my husband, realised that we've blown through our entire budget for the month with Christmas and everything. We have 3 tiny children, and we had no money, nothing on the credit card, nothing in the bank account, nothing in our wallets, nothing at all. And we went down to the beach. Hamish is the calm one. I'm the stress head when it comes to money.
yeah.
And he said, look, let's just chill for a sec. Let's take the girls. We'll go down. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So we go down there to our local beach. He goes in for a swim, and I'm with the kids on the sand. And then, like, really quickly, I see him marching back towards me, this huge smile on his face. And I'm thinking, why are you smiling? We are broke. Anyway,
Nothing to
he
smile about right now.
yeah, he walks up to me and he puts his hand out in front of me like this, opens his hand, and inside it is a $10 note and a $5 note, all crumpled up. And of course, some poor swimmer had lost it out of his swim shorts or her swimsuit. And it wasn't going to change. It was only $15. It was not going to change our life that day. But it was that moment where we realized, right in that moment, we know exactly when it happened, where we said we have to change what's going on in our life, because we can't bring up a family and provide the way things are going. So a couple of months later, my brother-in-law, my husband's brother, he was working in property, and he said, look, if you want some extra work, I can hook you up with some cleaning contracts and you can, make some extra money. So Hamish did that. I stayed in my role and he did that and at night, and he was in construction during the day. And a couple of months in, he realized that if you do a good job, this is a business that creates monthly recurring income. Just,
Mm.
get the job, do a good job, you get to keep it. And he said to me, look, I think this might be a good avenue. And so that's how Cleancorp started. And he ran Cleancorp for 13 years all by himself. He did everything, every facet of the business. He was in charge of marketing, sales, accounts, cleaning.
You do it
Um,
all. You got to
you know,
do it
you,
all in the beginning.
you do it all. And he did very, very well with that. Meanwhile, my career had taken off, and I was also doing well in what I was doing. And Hamish said, "Look, why don't you bring your sales and marketing skills into the business, and let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can create." And so, and I've said it so many times, but it literally was. I was dragged into Cleancorp kicking and screaming. I did not want to lose my career. I loved my job. I loved the people I worked with. It was a very tough move for me, but very quickly, I once I landed and got my feet under my desk, I thought, wow, we can really do some great stuff here, and we have. And that was now 16 years ago. So it's been a ride. I have had every emotion, every situation I think that you can possibly imagine a cleaning business owner can face. And
Mhm.
we're still standing. So yeah, it's a very proud family-owned business.
Nice. Well, I'm a family-owned business as well. I think there's a lot of cleaning business owners or cleaning companies that are family-based. And I remember, so I jump right in. Let's get right into that. I like the family business part, Lisa. So in the beginning, though, did you have those naysayers or people around you that said, "Are you sure you want to get into business with your husband and your family?" Like here in the States, in America, especially, like uh, people don't trust family sometimes in a family business environment, right? They'll tell you, "Are you sure you want to do business with friends? Are you sure you want to do business with your husband, your wife?"
Mm.
And from day one, I was always like, "Man, that's so weird or odd to me because like this is who I trust. Like I'd rather do business with somebody I trust than, we know how hard the labor market is and staffing. Even from day one, I was scared. I was always scared. But it's a different feeling when you're scared and you have a loved one or your significant other right next to you. So it's like I was scared, but I felt protected because like I had my wife and my cousin and my family was there. So did you? I mean, I know you were kicking and screaming, not to go in, but I don't. I believe it's not kicking and screaming because you were afraid to go with him, to work with him. Did you have that people around you though, or that first year where people were reluctant? Were reluctant?
Absolutely. And to be honest, I still to this day, I spoke at an event about 6 weeks ago. And after people came up to me and said, "How do you work with your husband?" And I looked at them, I said, "Have you met my husband? He's amazing."
He's amazing. Yeah,
It's amazing. I'm like you, Ricky. I couldn't imagine working with anyone that like the extreme level of trust that is involved in business ownership and business decisions. I mean, we're making, as business owners, we are making decisions that can have a negative or positive effect in on so many different layers. So I want the person that I trust most in the world. I want that person. I want to be by his side. I want him by my side. And I think for Hamish and I, we respect each other's strengths and weaknesses. And so where I'm strong, Hamish isn't as strong, and vice versa. So we're kind of two
you
people that come together,
compliment. You guys
we
compliment each
complement
other.
each other
Yeah,
and create. Together we create one person.
yeah,
And I think that our team have always felt that they would never have felt anything other than a collective, joint decision. And I mean, the business is a lot bigger now. So from that perspective, I think it's important that your employees feel like the partners, whoever the partners are, actually, but the partnership, the family unit, is an unbreakable force, but a
yeah,
force for good for the business. I think that
yeah,
that's super important to always portray that. And my team would never, not that I would ever do it anyway, but they never in a million years would they hear a negative thing come out of my mouth in regards to Hamish, my husband. And the
yeah.
same from Hamish. Even if Hamish had thought that maybe I should have made this decision or done that thing, he would never say it in front of anybody. It would be a private conversation between us.
Yeah. Well, so and you said the word partner, Lisa. So I do want to go into where is Clean Corp today and how where is the company came from and where are you at today because people like to hear like okay, I was in the beginning like Lisa was too, and I've grown to this, and and
Mm,
we'll get there. But you said the word partner. I actually want to go back to that because within the Rosalato company that I have, we've been talking about expansion and we had a great week last week, and we put two avatars together, right, as a company. I said, hey, if I'm going to pick up the Rosalato name and go to Dallas, and I'm going to open up an office in Dallas, what are the two necessary things? And we kept talking about it. We kept thinking like, what do we need to not necessarily repeat Rosalato again or the company, but what we came to the conclusion of is you need a partner, right? As far as there needs to be two, you know,
mm,
two people minimum, two people that can launch this idea, this concept, this business, especially in cleaning, right?
mm.
And we think, and I think you guys actually fit this. Is why I'm bringing this up. You need that person that is a sales, biz dev, marketing, an extrovert, right? And then you need the person who's an ops, hands-on, get dirty, internal, right? What do you think? Because as you're talking about you and Hamish, like I feel like he's the hands-on ops in the field. You're the marketer, business development, sales.
Yeah.
With
You've
those two, that's when the
hit the
magic
nail
happens,
absolutely 100%
right?
on the
Okay.
head. That's exactly what we do, and I think that's why that's part of the why we are a success the way that we the way that we work, because we don't step on each other's toes. I'm really very very comfortable in doing my side of the business, which is sales, marketing, managing, everything from the CEO perspective. And Hamish is equally as comfortable and adept at doing that out in the field and with our service partners and team, customers and what have you. So it's a really nice division of labor, in a way that it makes sense to the business, and it also makes sense to the relationship of the two people who are involved. And I think it's like the analytical side and that
Yeah.
extra sales and marketing side, very much so.
Yeah. No, and again, I'm sure other people have thought of this too, but like I just again hearing you talk and then the conversation we just had last week, because when we get cleaning company owners that'll call us, and I'm sure you get the calls as as a mentor, as a coach too, where they want the magic recipe. People want to know what is the formula. I tend to always lean towards: are you working by yourself? Like, are you a solo business owner? If the answer is yes, I challenge and I say, find a partner. What are you great at? Find that other. I haven't said to this point like an opposite a salesperson, but like I just feel so strongly about doing it with one other person. Like, because
Mm,
it's lonely, it's tough, it's stressful. Not everybody is lucky enough to work with their husband or wife, right?
mm.
Or cousin or brother, but friend, right? An acquaintance, a colleague in school. Like, I'm just strong. I'm strong on the notion of doing it with one other person, especially cleaning, because like this industry beats you up, and you could go days, weeks, months without feeling positive. Sometimes you don't always get the compliments, but if you have that other person, that's your positive side, right? That's your
That's
reinforcement.
that's right.
Like how do you
And
feel about, like, you think that's what made you guys successful too, is having the partnership?
I think so, and I think that also understanding who like for those people who don't have a husband or wife that they can bring in, as that that part in that partner role, if you want to call it that. Um, Cast the net out a little bit further and bring someone into the business who can fulfill that role, that is, and I don't know how to say this, but I'm just going to come out and say it. Get someone who's smarter than you. Don't be
Yeah,
afraid to
please.
hire someone who is smarter than you. My God, I've made a business out of doing that. Like I have a room full of people out here that are way smarter than me in what they do, and that's the beauty of it. You know, you you need to understand as a business owner, you cannot. It is impossible. For you to be fantastic at everything, there are going to be
Yeah,
weaknesses there, and you have to have the humility to accept that and to own that, and go, okay, well, I'm terrible with numbers, or I'm terrible with writing, or whatever it might be. So I'm going when I'm recruiting in that role, I'm going to go for the best person that I can afford, and then I'm going to listen to them. Big distinction. So I think, yeah, with businesses, with cleaning businesses, it's a lonely road, and it doesn't need to be. You can bring on
yeah.
really
It, it's
people who can support
it's
you.
it's fun, right? It's fun when you have a great team. Like,
Yeah.
and for those of you, again, people that don't follow you, Lisa, I would tell you, follow you on LinkedIn. We're gonna have all your info, link. But I say that because even up to, I think it was like a couple weeks ago. Or, first of all, I see you traveling, or if you're not traveling, you're just going to places that are awesome, and it looks like you're having fun, right? So that's where people should be having fun running their business. And I think that is a fruit of your labor, right? That you get to have that opportunity to have fun with your family. Um, don't get it twisted. There's work, and it's hard work, and you're going to be in the grind at the same time. But again, I could see the fun you have. So like, obviously you have put a great team around you. So like, where was Lisa back then in the grind to like where are you today with your husband and your family and the team at Cleancorp? Like, what does today look like for you guys?
Today looks awesome. So 2 years ago, I became the CEO of Cleancorp, and for all intents and purposes, I had been operating as the CEO for a number of years. But there was that fear factor in the back of my head. I up until that point, if you looked at my role on LinkedIn or anywhere else, I said I was the director of sales and marketing because I felt really comfortable there. It was like
Yeah.
comfy pair of slippers. I knew exactly. I could not be. I was unchallengeable in the director of sales and marketing role, right? Unchallengeable queen of sales and marketing for our company. However, I needed to challenge myself, and I said, right, I am going to step into this role, and with that, I am going to step up with my own personal education and learning and what have you. So I went through that process, and I also did it because I felt it hadn't been said to me, but I felt that at the level our business was at, the size of our business, it was the right move to be seen from how do I put this? It was the right move from the perspective of how do our prospects and customers see us? How do the CleanCorp team see us? They needed a CEO. They had a director of sales and marketing, but they needed a CEO. So I stepped into
Wow.
that role, and it was a big mindset shift, because all of a sudden I could make mistakes again.
Yeah.
It was a strange time mentally, but it was the best thing I did because number one, when a prospect or a customer is speaking to the CEO, the conversation is completely different to
Oh
when
yeah.
they are dealing with one of my team. So my team might get some difficult conversations. Yet when I enter the conversation, that changes the narrative a little bit, which is great. So from that perspective, it's awesome. The other thing is that being CEO means that I then need department heads to be running everything because I can't run everything. Lord knows I tried, but I just can't run everything. And so I hired for strength and I hired for culture, and so today I have department heads who report into the general manager. She reports into me. So I'm not bogged down on a daily basis with, oh, someone's bin didn't get emptied, or a toilet paper roll
Yeah.
wasn't changed at someone's site. I don't get bogged down with that. It frees me up to be more creative in different areas within the business. And actually, by putting that structure in place, I can achieve so much more in my day. My team can stay focused. We've got measurable results. We're seeing growth and improvement and retention. Everything's moving in the right direction. So it's been positive, in so many ways, so many ways.
Yeah. And you said like I mean, I was ready to say it, and you said it right as I was thinking it. Is mindset shift. Because so before well, quickly, what if you could? What are some quick stats on the company itself? Employees, supervisors, managers,
Sure.
cities that you operate. Is it just in Australia?
Yeah,
Correct.
just
You okay?
we clean we do cleaning services in Australia and New Zealand, but our
Okay.
our main bread and butter is based here, obviously in Australia, right around the country. In our
Yeah.
office here in Sydney, which is our head office, we have 17 people, and then we have 400 odd cleaners. I'd say we've got 50. Yeah, thank you. We have about 50 supervisors. We are growing, and we're growing at quite a speed now. Like, I think when you hit a certain tipping point within a business, then it's a hard grind. Like, I've heard you talk about getting to that first million,
Oh
and
yeah.
how hard that is. It is so hard to get to that first million, and then each level thereafter has its own challenges exponentially. So for
Oh
us
yeah.
now, we're an 8-figure business, but we've been around for a long time. So I don't want people to think we just switched on an 8-figure business overnight. That 8-figure business has been 27 years in the making,
Ah,
um,
hey,
and and
congratulations though.
yeah, yeah, thank you,
Congratulations, Lisa.
thank you.
So
Um,
because what
yeah.
what I want people to realize too, Lisa, is like, so I talk about the 1 million mark because, again, it's either 90 to 93, but about 90 to 93% of the industry in North America. So again, this doesn't include Australia, but I'm sure the numbers got to be similar. They don't reach, cleaning company owners don't reach 1 million in revenue. 93% of 1 million cleaning companies in America. So when you do get to the one,
Yeah.
congrats. Then the 1 to 2 is a jump. Then the 2 to 5 is a jump. 5 to 10 is a jump.
Mm.
And like right now, I'm in the 10 to 20 mark, right? Where it's like, you just said it. There's a whole nother level of, middle management.
Yeah.
Where do they come from? How do promote, move over? Like what I want to touch on though, so people can get a grasp of this is you said it, because I'm in that area too, is, you know, I'm a CEO. It's not like I'm going to go apply for a job to be a CEO at another company.
Mm.
I'm a CEO of this company because of instinct, and was the owner, felt like I could challenge myself to put me in that position, just like you said. Um, but like we weren't, uh, I didn't come into this thinking I would be a CEO of
Mm.
this company. Like I was scared for a long time too, and I would always constantly say, I don't have the pedigree for this. I didn't go to school for this. I don't want to make the mistakes that the company could falter. Like I was very worried about making decisions in that role. Like you said, once I felt I couldn't challenge myself in any other role, I was like, well, I mean, if somebody's going to make mistakes, might as well be me. And I think the company's going to be all right. But you nailed it too. And this is what I want people to understand is you need that next layer of management, because you said it. We're able to make strategic decisions, and people always talk about work on the business, but work on the business to unlock opportunities. Like if you got a great opportunity to take advantage of, but yet you're dealing with who didn't throw the bin out or what supply was in order or somebody didn't get their paycheck, that opportunity is going to come and go. Like
Yeah.
your company's growing because you're in the position to take advantage. Right? Like
Mm.
I got to believe you're taking advantage of many. You're a sales and marketing person. We're going to talk about you being an ultimate marketer, but if you're not the CEO and have that layer like you have with the GM role, which I believe many people don't, I didn't even know about the GM role until 2 years ago. Uh, it's crucial. Like
Yeah.
how much more time do you have lately to make
Oh,
those kind of decisions?
I, I have so much more time because I'm
Hamish, did you
being
hear that? She has more. She has more time, so you need to give her more work to do.
nice. No, I have more time because I'm being managed up to. I don't have to get down in the weeds, and that's not to say
That
I've
you
reached
won't. Yeah,
heights. I am
yeah,
so happy to get in, and I will help clean. If we have a big rollout, a big mobilization, you better believe I'm going to be on that site, leading from the front with my team. And
yeah.
there is no, like, I do undercover boss
Ooh.
within. Yeah, it's fun. No, nobody gets. It's not something to be afraid of in Cleancorp. It's something that it's actually really quite fun. I've done it in Perth. I've done it in Brisbane. I've done it in Melbourne all this year,
That's awesome.
and
Nice.
it has been incredible. Like, I'm out at night. I'm in my cleaning gear. I'm turning up. I've got my equipment. I'm ready to roll. And the information and the intel that I get from doing that is, it is phenomenal. It helps shape my internal marketing processes, which is, I'm marketing internally to my team every day, just as much as I'm marketing externally to win new business. So there's those two schools of marketing, but it's a powerful thing if you're prepared to do it. And I am. I love it. So, but on a regular day-to-day basis, having the my management team managing up to Sally, and then who's the general manager, and then Sally managing up to me, she frees up so much
Yeah.
time so that I can go and be the undercover boss. I can do those things
Yeah.
where I can pop up where I'm not expected to pop up. and yet I can do it in a way that's purposeful and that adds value to our team. And ultimately, the end result is to always add value to our customers, whether they know it or not. The level of
Yeah.
training when Hamish and I head out as undercover boss is I would challenge anyone on earth to provide training that's better than what we do here at Cleancorp on that level. So yeah, it's
That's
really
awesome.
awesome. It's awesome.
So I'm looking at the time and I'm like, man, it took me already 30 minutes to jump into the marketing because I mean, you are a marketer, right? And you just said it. So I want to talk about you as Lisa, the marketing person, and I know you've won awards and you've gotten a lot of distinguished credentials from that. But I love that you just said it too. Like you also market to your team and you're marketing to your internal. So I'd never heard that before in that way. So is marketing everything for you as far as running your business? Like how do you look at marketing for your business and also your people operations?
Oh, look, for me, we are marketing before the sale, during the sale, and after the sale. The marketing never stops, and that from my perspective, and I know this has been my background for my entire working life, so I'm very, very comfortable with it, and that the principles around it. But if you're not creating a buzz around what you're doing externally as well as internally, and actually particularly internally, there's
Internally, right? Yeah.
the labor market right now. We are certainly experiencing the exact same situation you're having in the US, where it's difficult. It's hard to attract labor. So I'm gonna pull out my the big guns in order to try and attract new labor to Cleancorp and to differentiate ourselves. So as much as I'm working to differentiate ourselves from our competitor cleaning companies out in the marketplace, I'm also doing it because those competitor cleaning companies are also looking for employees, the same employees that I may be looking for. So, how can I make us look cooler, funner, better? And
Yes.
if anybody wants to know, like we're on, we have a TikTok presence, which is actually I think we're about to hit 1 million views on our video yesterday. We posted a video yesterday, and this morning when I woke up, it was at 750,000 views. So we do this.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That's
we
a whole
do.
other topic. That's going
That's
to
a
be a
whole
topic
other
because I
topic.
want to
Yeah, we
I want to know how, like, yeah, how you do that
there
for
is so
commercial cleaning because I see residential people do at least about. Dang.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll get
But
into that one next. But keep
let's
going.
park that one for a minute because I could talk about that
Yeah.
for a whole session. But people, I get some people within the industry who are, and I'm going to use air quotes here, quote unquote traditional. I don't know. I'm going to say traditional business owners. I don't put myself in that in that category. I feel like we think outside the box, and I love that about us. But some of the traditional ones are sort of, Lisa, why is Cleancorp on TikTok? I'll tell you a secret. It's to get staff. It's to get staff. I want people to see us because you know what? We are a young, youthful company, and I want to attract people who are, coming with their ideas and open to new things, and who are not afraid of technology. Where are all those people hanging out? Social media. So we have a great presence on TikTok, great presence on Instagram. And then for the more serious stuff, you'll see LinkedIn. We have our LinkedIn profile. Every now and again, we'll slip in something fun on our Cleancorp page. But I'm marketing everywhere because I do not want a great employee to not have seen who we are. Because as soon as they see who we are, if they've got two opportunities with a cleaning company, I promise
I
you
was gonna
they
say
are
that.
going to want to come with us because we look so good. We look so good, and we have a great culture, and we've built it purposefully and with the assistance of every single member of this team. So yeah,
Oh, that's awesome,
marketing.
Lisa. Because so it's marketing, and I think it's branding too, right? And And again,
Yes.
if you're leading from the front, because like, again, all I got to do is type her name and Google it. I'm looking at some stuff right now, but I feel like we're the same. Me and you, I get what you're doing, just because you said it, to build culture, show people that you're real. Because it's one thing to post about things and share stories, and then they're not real when you go to the office or you go to the team.
Mm.
But like, you're consistent. Like, again, I had known this before too, but I just did another quick search, and I'm like, you're all over. And but you said it. You're on it. You're doing it purposely,
Yeah.
right? It's intentional.
Mm.
So I think a lot of people should. And I have to actually say, I don't know if you've noticed this too. I see more cleaning business owners doing this though now. Like,
Yeah.
even if they're smaller companies, right? But they know they have to be there. They have to be out on social media. They have to share their story. They have to create a brand. Um, Kudos to you for doing. Like, again, I've known this about you like years ago. So, and you're still here doing it. So, I obviously you love what you do. I mean,
Mm.
when you woke up today, when you woke up last week, like, what drives you as a business owner? 27 years.
Yeah.
That's not 5 years in the business. Like, you're going at it year after year. Like, what is that driving factor when you wake up right now, running
I
Cleancorp and being in the industry?
Yeah, I think I that's a hard one for me to answer, but I think what drives me is the fact that no 2 days are the same, and the fact that I can really hit a creative space in a traditionally uncreative industry and stand out that way. Knowing that we're on days when we're shooting, and we're doing a reel and what have you, that's excitement. You should see the excitement in our office because we try and involve everybody. And again, I know there are cleaning business owners out there who probably are listening to me thinking, she's she's crazy letting her staff you know waste time, like company time, shooting a reel.
Oh no,
It is the
yeah,
greatest bonding experience that I don't have to
truly.
pay anything extra for. They come in, you should have heard them laughing. Yes, I mean, we came up with the concept, shot it, edited it, posted it all in one day. So it was a very, very busy day here yesterday. There was so much laughter, but the work is still being done. But the culture is there. It's just building without me doing anything. I'm not hosting a
Yeah,
fancy lunch. I'm not taking them out to mini golf. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just including them. And that people just want to be included. Um,
yeah, yeah.
it's a
So
fun thing. So
are you
anybody who's thinking of it, just it's a good thing for your business.
are you saying I should visit you in Australia to go shoot some content? Is that what you're saying? Because if you ask me, I will
Come
go
on
to
in.
Australia. I've never been to Australia. I will go to Australia.
We will roll out the red carpet. Um, we will
No,
roll
that's
out the
because
red carpet.
think about it, Lisa. That's because it is it's funny. Like, we just had I was posting about it. We had our train the trainer last week, and
Mm,
I like to make a big spectacle of these type of events, because we have regionals that don't work in the office. They're out in, like, we had 8 people come in. There are 8 regionals from different markets. They don't get the luxury of walking into our office every day.
mm,
They're out on their own. They're running and managing a territory. It's maybe 2 of them total in the market. They've got like a co-sharing space. They don't have that culture per se, right?
mm.
And at times I get frustrated about that, but at the same time, that's a cost of expanding, right? So we brought them all in, and I'm telling you, we had, you know, gear. All the shirts were on the chairs. Everything was black and white because we're black and white, right? They come in. We got bags for them. We've got interview podcast room ready for them. We've got another interview room upstairs for them, and a couple. I'm very Latino based, and they're like, "Ricky, ¿qué es eso?" In Spanish, is like, "What is that? Do you want me to? I'm not going on camera." And I'm like, "No, no, no, come on, let's like. I need you. I need you. I need you to speak to what you do, and I want to do a whole big thing." Lisa, by the end of the second day, I couldn't get them out of me. Like, like they like the fear was gone, and
Yeah.
they were like proud to speak because I let them speak in English and Spanish, whatever they preferred. But like by the time they were done, I've got them make sure I get the edits of them. Like edits, you want the raw footage too? Like they wanted it. They're like, I want to show my family. I want to post it to this. And you're right, they
Absolutely.
felt included. So like they really uh, embraced that we put them out there. So I think what you're doing is you're recognizing your team. Even up till yesterday, you said, look at that. I mean, this is happening day in and day out. So is when you were a marketer for, before this company, did you ever think those skills that you learned were going to ever pay off so much for like, because remember, it's one thing to be a marketing and a
Mm.
sales director for a company for, corporate America. And then you go and turn that switch on for you and your own business. Like how proud did you feel to be able to say, I can do this. I can lead this because of what I learned in the past. How important do
Yeah.
you think that was for you?
It was very important because I tell you that in those early days when I first joined Cleancorp, I had been, as a sales and marketing manager for international hotel chains, so Shangri-La, Hyatt, Sheraton.
Yeah,
I
these
was
are
dealing,
big
you know,
brands.
big corporate brands with a lot of structure in place, but essentially what I was selling was beautiful hotels in exotic, gorgeous locations. So not hard to sell at all, really. You know, a first year marketer could do that. It was a pretty easy gig. However, move over to the cleaning industry. How do you market something that nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, oh my god, I can't wait. I'm
I
gonna
gotta
I'm
go.
gonna buy a
Yeah.
cleaning today. Whoa, great. How do you create a buzz around it, and how do you market to someone who essentially does not want to buy what you have to sell? And how do you get someone to come to your website and stay there when it isn't like beautiful clothes or a beautiful destination? That was my very heavy learning curve of figuring that out and understanding that. Once I understood that, once I put my like as a marketer, I put myself in the shoes of the buyer, the prospect. Then it
Mm.
helped me it helped me form some assumptions, and then I tested those assumptions with my marketing. And there were a lot of things I got wrong, but there little by little there were things that started to trickle through, and then we started to see that upswing. That whole hockey sticks thing started to happen, and I knew I was on the right track. I just had to keep course correcting and be and and I know I've said it before, but you have to be humble in this business, in a way of for your growth. You have to be okay with being wrong,
Yeah,
yeah. I've been wrong more times than I've been right.
I've been wrong many times. And I think the minute you as an owner or leadership figures out how to like deal with being wrong and it's okay, right? And staying
Mhm,
positive, like everybody sees that around you too. Like I
mhm.
feel did so not necessarily from marketing and sales, but being in the hospitality. So because it's actually a tagline we have too, Lisa. Because I just again when I go to a beautiful hotel or resort or I have a great evening at a nice restaurant, that hospitality you get, right? Top notch service. We say we are a cleaning company that is a hospitality driven service company, right? Because I did you bring some of that hotel environment to your company? Because I got to believe, you see some of these hotel chains. I mean, that's it for them. Service is everything. Like
Yeah.
they beat down service oriented approach, right?
Absolutely, and that is definitely something that I brought into Cleancorp as soon as I came to the business. There was some structural changes that I made immediately, and like from the very simplest things, the way that we answer the phone. So we answer the phone. Welcome to Cleancorp. This is Lisa. Um, we're trying to welcome people into our environment, our business at every single opportunity. And we talk about that. How can we provide a warm welcome? Um, because people feel that. What I know for sure is that most people are going to be asking for 3, sometimes 5 quotes. So I'm going to be one of 3 to 5 companies that that prospect interacts with. If my interaction in any way connects with them, that's going to lift our
Yeah,
chances of winning the business exponentially. Immediately
yeah,
we're going to get a little bump. And then the
yeah.
next
You're
thing,
from 5 to 4,
yeah,
4 to 3. Like,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. And so when we're speaking, we are very focused on that here in the office. The way that we speak, using good English. So, I'm pretty tough on how we speak here because it's because of the level of importance that it has. So if someone was to answer the phone, and go, yeah, nah,
yeah.
that's not gonna cut it in court.
Oh,
That's not
no
going to cut.
way.
Um, it's very, and I sit in the bullpen. I sit with everybody else. I do not have an office. I never want to have an office. I'm right there, and that's
Oh man,
because
so I'm telling you, me and you are the same. Me and you are the
yeah,
same. Like
yeah. There
my
is
cousin and I,
no
we have our name on a plate, Lisa, and I don't sit in that room. Like my name's on the nameplate, but somebody else sits in that room. So man, I love it. I love it.
yeah.
Keep going.
It's
Bullpen
yeah.
too. When you
So
said bull, I love the word bullpen. I love it.
yeah. So I sit out there and and everybody knows. I mean, I don't. It's not like I'm monitoring. It's just this is we elevate our brand by that very first impression, and then every single other touch that people have with us has to be as good as the first impression, if not even better. And so we've worked very hard on that, and I get so much feedback, so much beautiful feedback from people who say, oh, I spoke to this company and that company, and oh, they just didn't seem to care. And I think with us, they can feel our care. They
Yeah,
they can actually feel that the person on the other end of the phone, or the person sitting opposite them, the person delivering the service cares. It's a
yeah,
big deal. It's a really
yeah.
big deal.
And Lisa, think about so impression, right? Your team is leaving impressions. Again,
Mm,
this is a long game sometimes. If we want those big contracts, you're probably not winning it the first time. You're getting in on that second session.
yeah.
That third time, fourth time, they now know you're a great company. They wanted to do business with you that second time. They're tired of doing business with the other same
Mm,
traditional companies. You're going to get the win sooner or later, right? Because you left an impression, you may be higher priced, this, that. But I can't tell you how, like, the third or fourth RFP or meetings, and we're going to be in year 12 now. So we're in year 11. I'm winning clients today that 4 years ago we met.
mm,
And it's all just like, again, snowball effect, but it's because of impressions. Like, I mean, for you to say welcome, easily somebody could just answer the phone. Hey, this is Cleancorp. How you doing? Welcome to Cleancorp. Like yeah, words, they do a lot to people, man. I mean, especially nowadays, because uh, completing a sentence, or having that little pep in that voice when you're answering the phone, or even in an email, you know a complete sentence, not chat GPT.
yeah.
It's,
Not just,
I'm
do
very
it.
I'm very I'm authentic. I keep my sentences real. So, not that I don't like chat GPT, but but
No, it's look, it is
sooner or later
important.
it will work.
It does, it
Yeah,
does. And the other thing too is if you think about it, there is a concept known as mirroring. So you can mirror someone's speech and their actions and what have you, which is it's powerful NLP. Um, but if you receive an email from someone, and let's say it's a customer and maybe something hasn't gone to plan, and they've sent you a really long email to explain to you what hasn't gone to plan. So we mirror that. So if we have someone who's gone to the trouble to do something, send us a really long
such a
email.
long, detailed.
Well, the first thing is, if it was a big challenge, I would be getting on the phone to them, but the response would be mirrored back to them. I would also, and
Right
so at the
along
time,
email.
encourage. We're going to mirror that back. We're not going to go, yeah, okay, got it. That's not going to how we respond. So, and
Right?
equally,
Or K,
yeah,
just a K.
okay, okay, okay. Um, equally, if we get something really brief, then we're going to try and meet them where they are, and
Yeah,
not send them, like a really long message. And I think there are so many clues when you're dealing with people, whether it's a prospect, whether it's a customer, whether it's an employee. If you are watching for those clues, you can use them in the way that makes sense and makes for a better relationship. So they send you something long, you respond with something long. They send you something short, you respond with something short. Always friendly, always on voice for the companies. And that's
yeah.
that's another thing that we talk about here very much
Because there,
is
because there's a tone there, Lisa. Right?
mm,
There's a tone. Because again, emails are tough, man. You could take an email the wrong way and
yes,
perceive or assume, and it's tough. That's why phone calls are always great as well. In person, always great. But
mm,
this, in day and age, email is probably the number one powerful tool. Uh, we got like a few more minutes here. Again, I didn't realize what time it was. Holy crap!
yes,
All right. As we
you could,
wrap up, Lisa, we're having
yeah,
fun. We're having fun, right? Uh, what do you? What would you leave to? A lot of our audience is, smaller, mid-sized contractors. We do have a lot of larger size. We have a lot of suppliers and manufacturers. What would you leave to the audience? You know, some tips that you've learned, or one major, moment. It's always good to leave a big major golden nugget, right? That you've
yeah.
learned as you've gone through this journey, 27 years, right? Uh, that you would share to say, if I would have known this, it would have helped me, exponentially gotten bigger, better, stronger, and more confident as a business owner or a leader. What would you say?
The biggest one would be if you are experiencing a shortage of leads, or you're not getting any leads, or where you used to get leads from has dried up, you need to double down on your marketing. And the very, very first thing you have to do is look at your website and go, is this the kind of website someone would look at and go, wow, I can see how this company is different from every other cleaning company in my town, in my city, in my area. Put yourself on your website. People buy from people. So be the person that is if you are a family owned business, be proud of it. Be
Yeah,
proud. We have won multi-million dollar contracts because we're a family business. So be proud of that. Make sure that every word on your website has power. Don't put huge blocks of copy there, because Google won't pick it up. I mean, that's a whole lot. Websites and
we get.
what
I think
to do.
we have to have a marketing
We need a
episode on that
marketing summit, I think.
for sure. Yeah. Hey, no, because
Marketing
uh,
masterclass, but double down on your marketing. If you're doing it tough, like during COVID, I'll give you a really quick example. During COVID,
yes.
none of us knew what was going to go on, what was going to happen, and it ended up being, like the biggest years we've ever had,
Oh
because
yeah.
um, I just thought all of our competitors won't know what to do. They're not marketers. They don't have and I this is a story I tell myself. They may be marketers, Ricky. I'm not saying they're not.
Right. You're like, not
In
like
my
me.
mind,
Not like
they
me.
don't know what they're doing. So let's just go with that. Let's just go with that. And so I doubled down. I absolutely doubled down on our marketing, and it worked. And so we owned the space in Australia for COVID cleaning. We owned it. We were on every major channel. We were everywhere. So I know, the smaller businesses, it's harder to do that. But if things get tough, the last thing you should do is stop marketing. You should market so that you get more business in, not take the
Yeah.
marketing out, because then your leads, they will dry up. You need to have that constancy of leads and opportunities coming through. So be the face of your own business. Put yourself there. Remember, people buy from people, and I mean, there's so many other things, but they would be a couple of my big ones.
No, yeah, and I love that you said the website because I would tell you in America there's many cleaning companies that they they look at it from a price perspective and cost, and they're just like, and I was guilty of it in the beginning, Lisa, too. I was like, oh, I'm a cleaning company. What do I need a nice, great looking website? I would tell you that is our only marketing right now, is
Mm,
our website. We live and breathe it. Who we are is on that site. So I think that's a great tip to leave people because there are many that don't, that really
mm,
just, they create a homepage and that's it. It's a landing page. You scroll up and down. Doesn't really, like, everybody searches who they're going to work with. So
mm.
I think, like you said, that's a nice low hanging fruit tip too. Is it's easy to do this.
Yes.
Find somebody who can build a nice website for you. Don't go cheap,
Mm,
because that is like free advertising for you. And update it, like you said, put yourself on there. I can't tell you. I'm sure you agree with this. I hate stock images. Like,
mm.
I hate looking at a stock image. It's like that's not you. That's not your company. Like, why are you still in a KVAC suit? The KVAC suit ended 2 years ago. Like, what are you doing? Come on. So,
I
no,
know.
I appreciate
Those
that.
stock images are they're sitting on your website, they're sitting on your competitor's website. So the customer goes to the site and sees the same photo. You look so disingenuous. You have to
Oh,
have your own, and now, I mean, you can create, like, through AI, you can create your own photos. I don't know how good they are,
yeah.
but if you're really, but just go and take some. Just go out into
No,
the
no,
field.
you got, hey,
Yeah,
you got an iPhone.
yep,
That's it. Does it all.
that's right.
Awesome.
Just take some
Well,
photos.
Lisa, I've taken up much of your time,
Oh,
but I've enjoyed this. And like I said, I'm actually uh, a marketing summit. That's not a bad idea. I'm hosting cleaning and cocktail live events. I got to have you out here.
I'd love
One of these events coming up. Okay, so that would
Okay.
be an awesome. That would even be an awesome talking session if you came out here to speak on marketing because not many. You're right. Cleaning business owners, for the most part, we're not marketers. We're in the business because we wanted to build a legacy. We wanted to build a company. We're operators. Marketing is not easy. It's very very hard. So I'm going to take you up on that. I'm going to reach out.
Okay.
Any last words you'd like to leave the audience
I
before
just want to wish
we wrap
everybody,
it up?
just all the best. Go hard. Get on LinkedIn too. Those of you in the commercial space, make sure you're on LinkedIn with a good looking profile. You can go and check out Ricky's profile. It's pretty good. And but just be there. Don't overthink it. Just be there. You want to be everywhere. You want to be seen by as many eyeballs as you can for free. So
Yep.
yeah, just getting onto it is
Yes.
very important. And I just wish everyone all the best.
All right. Well, again, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in on Cleaning and Cocktails. Again, I know I would speak on your behalf, but I believe you'd be okay if we put all your information on our description. People reach out to you on LinkedIn, send you a message. Make sure you follow her on or Cleancorp on TikTok. I want to see
Yeah,
this video that
Tik-
had 1 million views.
yeah, TikTok. No, we think we're going to hit 1 million today. It was 750,000 this morning. So
Ooh,
go and help us hit 1 million.
let me go
Um,
view. Let me go view it. Let me go view it. Awesome. Well, again, you guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. Uh, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.